Hello, everybody. Royce Eddings here, and welcome to my channel, The Four Horsemen. Before I get started with my normal intro, Michael Nolan has a couple of words to say, something that came up.
Hey guys, I just wanted to say I noticed there was some timing out of an individual on my stream, and it appeared, from what I could tell, uh, I only got this from Kimberly by memory. All right, I don't have a screenshot of it or anything. That they were timed out for disagreement. I just wanted to reiterate to everybody, please, timeouts are reserved for folks who are uh, obvious trolls. They're calling out names to tribal members, things like that. They're doing, leaving sexually suggestive things. That's the
Yeah,
stuff we want to
yeah,
put down. I'm
absolutely.
already a big mouth, guys. I put my 2 cents worth out there. And if I can do that, then I want the rest of the tribe to feel like saying, hey, Robert Plant ain't nothing but since sliced bread. Come on, man. Yeah, for those kind of agreements, I think we can be
Right.
big enough to kind of, shoulder that and just disagree with them some more in the chat. That's all I'm asking. But I don't want to discourage people from not coming to the stream because my channel has always been, and I can speak for Royce in this too. His channel as well has always been one of our main focuses is to open dialogue. We don't all have to agree with
No, we don't
each
have to
other,
agree. We don't have to agree at
but
all.
we can treat each other with dignity and respect. And I'm not,
Yeah.
and maybe there was something that Kimberly didn't see that this other individual saw, and that was the final straw. All I know is from what I've seen of Vivek before, he's always been appropriate in his comments. And if I'm wrong, uh, because I don't want any names or anything out there. If I'm wrong, the individual who timed him out, let me know. Let me know in a comment on my,
Right. Right.
um, on the replay, and I'll look into it because I really just want an open, friendly, but sometimes cantankerous conversation with you folks. That's fine. We don't
Right.
all have
Right.
to agree. And thank you,
Yeah.
Royce, for letting me put
Oh,
that
no,
out. But
no.
our streams are
Yeah.
connected, and I felt like if I waited beyond this, the next chance I have to respond is Wednesday on a Christmas show. No, I didn't want to do that. All right. I
No,
love
I
you
hear.
all. I love you
Okay.
all. There may be something I'm not aware of here. And if there is, let me know and I'll take action on that. Okay. But if there
Yeah.
isn't, and it was just, well, things got heated, let's just kind of cool our jets a little bit. And we're all big people. Not everybody's going to agree with us. Go figure about that, Royce. Not everybody agrees with me.
Oh, I know.
It
Good
shocks
enough.
the hell out of me.
Absolutely. Okay, so let me get thank you, Michael. Let me get
Thank
back to
you.
the intro. Welcome to the Four Horsemen, your ultimate destination for all things rock and roll, classic rock with some heavy metal mixed in. Okay, we're celebrating the legendary artists, the timeless albums, the iconic anthems that defined generations. We cover the music you love, the stories behind it, and the history that made it famous. Would you expect any less from the Four Horsemen, right?
Not
Okay,
me.
so right. So tonight we're going to be covering. I really scored. I went to Record Store Day this past week, and I wasn't planning on going. I saw the list, and there was a couple of things. There was a Bob Dylan thing and something else. Kind of interested in, but you know what? Things got in the way, and there were people lining up at 3 o'clock. I walked in about 10:30 mid morning, and found a couple of things that I I couldn't live without. And the one I was most excited about, which we're going to be talking about tonight, is the very best of Eric Burdon and War. And well, oh my God, I just got through listening to the album. I finally got a chance. And the very best of Eric Burdon and War is a 2025 compilation album celebrating the groundbreaking collaboration between former Animals singer Eric Burdon and the funk soul band War, focusing on their initial genre blending work from albums like Eric Burdon Declares War, okay, and the other album they did together, The Black Man's Burden in 1970. Both of those were 1970. Eric Burdon Declares War and The Black Man's Burden. Okay. The album showcases their fusion of rock, funk, Latin, jazz, soul, featuring hits like Spill the Wine, and includes previously unreleased tracks. Michael, I know you're going to like this. Previously unreleased tracks, and I just absolutely loved them when I heard them. The King and Train Thing, and they're both on side 4. It's a double album set. The King and Train Thing are both on side 4, and in particular, it's the Train Thing has like A, B, C parts to it, and Eric Burdon brought his friend into the band with him, and the guy's name was Lee Oscar, and he's a harmonica player, and the harmonica on Train Things is just incredible. Yeah. And then Spill the Wine is well, they're all remastered, but Spill the Wine is remixed and remastered, the very last track on side 4, and it's unedited remix. So this was a lot of fun to listen to today. I really enjoyed it. So we're going to move back over. Let's get our panel involved. And Michael, I know you're also a big Eric Burdon fan.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah,
I kind of teased where I place him, kind of as a performer, as a the up and front man of the band,
yeah.
lead singer.
Right.
And
sure.
Before I do that, someone asked how to in the chat how to get a hold of me. There should be an email link on my main page, and you can do it that way if you feel that's what you need to do in order to discuss this further. Okay. But now getting back to Eric, I consider him one of the greatest frontmen in rock, and he doesn't even have to work at it. Whereas I've made this comparison before. I think him and Mick Jagger, who is also one of the greatest frontmen in rock, they both have this way of looking at the camera when they perform, or looking out at the audience in the front row, and have that dumb punk kind of,
right, yeah.
You wouldn't want to take me home to mama, kind of wink to their things. And with the case of Mick Jagger, who was probably a more clear-skinned, more attractive lead singer. This guy, he's 5'0", his hair's greasy. He's got pimples all over his face. Great voice, but he's got that look that I know. When he looks at the camera, and it's like a wink and a nod to every 12 to 16-year-old girl out there. This is back in the day where it's like, yeah, baby. And he does that stupid-ass Mick Jagger grin. Like when you watch both of them, you go, well, I'd ask what the joke is, but then I wouldn't be one of the cool kids, And so I loved him on that. And then I think even greater than any, and I love the Animals. I have an entire playlist of the Animals. And the only non-Animal song in there is Spill the Wine. You can't even begin to talk about that song. That song, good Lord, that is an LSD trip and a half, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you guys think? So that's my kind of thing, just to start the conversation off with.
Yeah. Okay, Dan, I know you're an Eric Burdon fan too. You've seen him in concert.
Well, I didn't see Eric Burdon, but I did see War. But it was like
you saw War. Okay.
It was like 6 years after Eric left. But one thing I learned about Eric, kind of looking into his history, was the guy was very fluid when it comes to the music that he wanted to perform with. Like in the early 60s, he's talking about how everything was kind of a beat driven. It's starting to get into that rock and roll beat sound. He said, then LSD came along. And then when LSD came along, everything became psychedelic and flowers and rainbows.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah.
So, and that's kind of where he was before he got into War. But then he said, then the music the music changed again, because he said people got out of LSD and suddenly things started becoming heavier and harder. And that's when he went over with War. and did that, you know, and I kind of wonder too, if he wouldn't have had health issues, how long he would have stayed with War, because he had to quit the band because he had asthma and everything else, and just couldn't perform anymore.
Oh, I see.
At that point in his life. And,
right.
Of course, and then he had issues with the animals themselves after War, trying to get them back together, and there was fighting over the House of the Rising Sun, the rights for that song.
Oh, wow.
And also there was an issue with the name of the band. He fought for several years over trying to get the name. Unfortunately, he lost everything. He lost both cases. Wow.
That's crazy.
But he did eventually get the animals back together, I think a couple of times. But then after that, he reformed the animals again. It's called Eric Burdon and the New Animals. So I guess he was able. But yeah, the guy was a workaholic, I think.
He got together and played with War again later too. It covered animals, hits, and everything.
Okay. Yeah, no,
he should have called it Eric Burdon and a bunch of brand new animal maniacs.
Yeah.
Right. Hey, Chris. Hey, are you a fan of Eric Burdon?
Oh yes, for sure.
Okay, good. Right on.
Actually, I was just kind of chuckling, Dan, what you were saying. It kind of echoes. We may have watched. Did you watch a little biography video on that?
Yes, I watched several of you.
Yeah, I think you were quoting from the same one I was just watching about 20 minutes ago.
Okay.
Because everything you were saying in the order you were saying it was all from that video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey.
No,
nothing wrong with that.
Oh no, I saw him at the Blues Fest here in Windsor. I forget who else was on the bill, but he blew everybody away. Like it wasn't even close.
So incredible. So
like
incredible.
he did a little bit of everything. Like Spill the Wine and a couple other the War songs. When I Was Young.
Right. When I Was
some
young.
Of the original Animals.
Don't
songs.
Let Me Be Misunderstood.
Yeah,
we gotta get out of this place. Sky Pilot.
Even a song I wouldn't always listen, like not always my favorite, but River Deep Mountain High. He did a version of that live. My God, it was to die for.
Oh yeah, I love
never
so
heard
many
that.
of his songs.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so let me let's take a look here. I wanted to talk a little bit about a couple of different things. Okay, I became a fan of Eric Burdon in 1964 with the release of the chart-topping hit "House of the Rising Sun." And you know what? I learned how to play that chord progression when I was 14 years old. And
who didn't?
No, I know. It was a little tricky at that point. It was probably one of the more advanced things I'd done at that point. But I hadn't played it a long time, and getting ready for this show today, I sat there and for about an hour, going through it, and playing it, to the best I could right at this moment. And so I was a fan from 64. I've never ceased being a fan. I've always had some Eric Burdon and the Animals music. I had, Eric Burdon Declares War, with War, Spill the Wine, and all those songs. I've always had his music, and I've always loved his music. And he would rank really high, in my favorite bands. Okay. So I saw Eric Burdon and the Animals live. Eric Burdon performed at, you guys have heard me talk about this before, the Laughlin River Run. The one I was at in 2002 when the Hells Angels and Mongols started shooting each other. I was 50 feet away. But anyway, getting distracted here. So many fun things to talk about. So anyway, Betty and I were walking down the street in Laughlin at the 2011 Laughlin River Run. And we stopped at one of these little newsstands just to see what was going on in town other than the concert in every single parking lot. And we come across this thing that right across the street at the new event center, Eric Burdon and the Animals were playing. And I mean, it just blew my mind. I think the tickets were $60 each. I immediately called over there and got tickets. So we went over and we saw them that very day. And I tell you what, it was a real highlight for me to stand up with the rest of the people in that small venue and everybody singing House of the Rising Sun, which was the last song he did, as loud as they possibly could with Eric Burdon. I mean, I'll never get over that. It was just absolutely amazing. Okay. So, I also saw War live, and I became a fan of War around 1971 when they released the the Cisco Kid.
Yeah.
Followed by, the world.
I hear he was a good friend of yours, Royce. Is that true?
Yeah, maybe. Okay. But anyway, the interesting thing is, Cisco Kid, followed by The World is a Ghetto, Lowrider. Who could forget the song Lowrider? Or the Cisco Kid was a friend of mine. Da, 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 da. Why can't we be friends? Okay, so I saw them in 1971. And this is kind of an interesting little story. It's just a paragraph long. But they performed at a casino in Las Vegas, a nice smaller venue. And the entire west side of Las Vegas was well represented. My brothers were all dressed in impeccable colored suits with matching large fedoras on. The women were all dressed to the nines and stunning, I might add. And what was crazy, though, was about every 20 minutes, a fight would break out over on that side of the aisle, and fighting at a war concert. Who knew, right? Okay. So,
war and a war concert?
Right. So anyway, so the cover for the very, very best of Eric Burdon War is a Record Store Day 2025, features classic imagery, Vietnam helicopter graphic from the original era with new packaging for the release, including a gatefold full of pictures, band history, track lists, and an amazing 2 columns of liner notes. And if anybody wants me to read those later, I'll be happy to. They really tell a fantastic story all by themselves about the album. It captures the alliance between Burdon, known for his powerful rock voice, and the talented African-American funk ensemble from Long Beach, California. And by 1972, Long Beach was my home, Long Beach, California. So the genre fusion created a unique sound that broke musical barriers. It featured their major hit, Spill the Wine, along with other important songs, Bareback Ride, Tobacco Road, and Nights in White Satin. Yes, Nights in White Satin. Okay.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah, okay. The double album revisits the band's formative years, a time of musical experimentation, cultural significance in the early 70s. All right, so let's get back to the panel, and we'll move on with that again later.
Hey, I got a question.
Okay, go ahead, man.
On that latest release that you're talking about, I do remember seeing something that there was a couple of songs he played, I think, in an earlier live album, where he sang "Painted Black" and "A Day in the Life" by Beatles.
They're both on here.
They are okay.
Black, Beatles, "Painted Black," and "Day in the Life." Yes.
Okay.
They're both on. That's what's so cool about this. There's a lot of surprises here, including some never released before tracks that were they dug out of a studio, and they're pretty cool too, Well,
you were just,
and so there's a lot of great stuff. Go ahead, Chris.
Dan, you were just mentioning the songs or whatever. I just caught a clip of a video of them doing "Painted Black," him in War, and it was just almost like amateur video. They were in some little club. I don't even think it was professional video. But they were in this little club. They did "Painted Black," followed up by "Tobacco Road." Yeah, it was a pretty cool video.
Wow.
Royce, you said you saw War in 1971.
Yes.
Was Eric Burdon with them then?
No, Eric Burdon was not with them. When
okay,
no, it was just Eric. It was just War by themselves.
Yeah, because I know he left. I think he left the band in 71. I just wondered where in 71. Yeah.
So it must have been late 71 that I saw him.
Okay.
I was getting ready to move to California at the time. I think by 72 I'd left shortly.
Wasn't Spill the Wine kind of their debut type of thing?
Yeah. It was a big hit, Michael. I put a poll up today, and I asked people to choose their favorite Eric Burdon song, and of course, "House of the Rising Sun" was #1. But "Spill the Wine" was #2, and it got a lot of votes. It was popular.
Well, the thing is didn't that come out in 72? I'm only going by memory right now. So that was
71 too.
71 too?
Yeah, 71. Well, that's what it
I
said
like
on
I
the.
like the way you keep your dates. Yeah, that was released in 1971 too.
71
Okay. So,
whatever.
oh man, my screen just went black for a second. I almost had a heart attack.
One too many, that is.
Yeah. Okay, so let's see exactly what this says. Try to remember what this said again.
I remember that being a big hit in my junior year. That would have been 1972 when we were listening to that a whole lot.
It could have bled over into 72. It could have bled over into 72 because
maybe. I
was still, early 72. I was still in Vegas. I hadn't moved to California, so it could have been 72.
Yeah,
I'll check into that.
What I like about War, first of all, you've got the white boy rock and roll elements with Eric.
Yeah.
And then you've got the Latino beats and the jazz fusion sound of War, which is kind of the way I hear it anyway. If I'm wrong, somebody correct me, but that's the way I always heard War.
You're not wrong.
When they were with Eric is when I really dug them. I've seen so many different versions of Spill the Wine and House of the Rising Sun for that matter. See, that whole song has a lilt to it.
Yeah.
When I was walking down there, a long-haired leaping gnome, and there's about, and there was big ones, fat ones, short ones, brown ones, thin ones, tall ones, and he kind of just limericks his way through it. And then you watch him do it live, and his inflections are completely different. It's a completely different version just based on what Eric Burdon did,
The same thing
I love it.
With Nights in White Satin, he did the same thing. They're the same words, but it's totally different,
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And that's,
like I said, this album that I have, this double album, the very last track is Spill the Wine, remixed, remastered, and unedited. So there's another version for you, Michael.
Well, I think that's one of his, you go with, everybody has like a secret, Robert Plant could sing higher than any man never known before and with power. It wasn't just range, it was power. And I'm talking about him in his prime now. Other singers would have an approach, like you could go Sinatra, and we talked about this, how he buries the note, I did it my way. That's a secret. That's one of his little, that's my thing, And with Eric Burdon, it was his phrasing, how he phrased it, how he would deliver. It was the melody and everything, but he'd stagger a line. It'd be like, okay, we'll start this instead of on one beat. I'll start this at the 2.5 beat, and all of a sudden, and then at the beginning of Spill the Wine, he comes into that song, and then he never repeats that come in for the rest of the song. The lilt changes. And it's kind of disjarring when you first hear it. The very second time you hear it, it's part of it. And the third time, you couldn't imagine the song being delivered without that little way he comes in,
Dr. Insomnia made an interesting comment. I have it up on the screen. He says, Spill the Wine was a hit in 71 and was still getting a lot of airplay in 72.
Okay, fair enough.
I thought it was late 71 that I saw. They weren't with Eric at the time, but I liked it. That was a good performance. a lot going on in the audience too.
It was the perfect summertime tune. There's other songs that were perfect summer, like Layla came out. Man, summertime, man. I'm Still a Young Man by Tower of Power and Spill the Wine. Also earlier War stuff, Lowrider, Cisco Kid. I just remember tooling in 4th Street, down the street, sun blazing, and those songs coming from every freaking car, man.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, no, those were good times. I mean, 71 was a good time to be a music lover.
Yeah. Oh God, magic time.
Yeah, everybody from the mid 60s was still out performing.
Yeah.
All the new people.
That's part of the thing that a lot of younger rock fans just don't understand the time. It's like that old saying, man, you just had to been there,
You have to
because you can't. There's no internet. There's no beginnings of the internet. Well, there is, but we don't know about it yet.
No,
right?
There was nothing to speak of, really.
Yeah, and everything was a drive or a walk away. No such thing as getting your groceries delivered unless you made more than a pound or two,
Right.
and things like that we take for granted. And we also had a bit of humanity. It didn't matter what side of the political aisle they were on. We all kind of knew what was right and wrong. We were a more agreeable society within the society that included all makes, colors, creeds, and sexes, right? So we were in a zone that was not very inflammatory, except for against a common enemy, the Vietnam War, and any motherfucking president that got in the way. I mean, that was our big baddie. And there, especially around 71, 72, even the grannies didn't see that war as a good thing. A lot of people from the right were going, these young folks, dead on, And so when you experience music in a zone like that, that's why, Royce and I and Dan out of this panel will tell you, it was like magic, man. It was like I can't explain it, dude.
It was magic. It was crazy.
Yeah,
crazy good. Hey, Joseph Blue, how you doing, brother?
Hey, Joseph, good to see you, bro.
Kevin Hall surfing. They're all talking about an incident in Australia.
Yeah, horrible incident.
Horrible. Yeah, horrible.
Absolutely horrible. Brendan, totally. Thoughts and respect to you, brother. That doesn't. Yeah, he's in Australia. That doesn't mean he was down the block. It's pretty big.
Kevin Hall.
That is one big country, but
no, it is a big country.
Yeah,
pretty much rivals the size of our country. Anyway.
I think that event is early reports, as I've been following it, Brandon, is almost unifying Australians. Who are just as divided as we are right now politically, and there may be a unification happening here. That's the groove I'm feeling following that story. Yeah, no politics, but I don't care about the politics. What I care about is people and mass shootings. This is a big no-no. I think we can all agree on that.
No question about it. We can definitely all agree on that. Yeah.
You can't go to a damn Hanukkah or Christmas party without being run over, stabbed, or shot. People running for their lives. The people who conduct this kind of business, you know what you are? I'll keep my mouth shut because I could start a sentence now that wouldn't stop till the end of this stream, telling you what a dirty freaking dog you are.
I'd have to echo you all the way along that sentence, Michael. I agree.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yep. Cowards.
Yeah.
Absolute freaking cowards. I don't care what side. If somebody on the other side of the political aisle carried that out, cowards.
Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't matter what side. It's right from wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a greater wrong here. The murdering of human beings who happen to be just as special as little old you.
That is the greater. That is absolutely the greater wrong. Yes.
Yeah.
Condolences for the guy. Okay,
let's get off this subject. Lord help me get off the subject.
Okay.
I swear to God. But prayers and thoughts to all Aussies down there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Horrible thing.
this specific 2025 release is part of War's 55th anniversary celebration. Okay, so this is War's 55th anniversary celebration, featuring newly remastered audio, unearthed bonus tracks. There's 2 bonus tracks on here from the band's archives. The album is retrospective on a short-lived but incredibly influential collaboration that forged a new sound and laid the groundwork for War's enduring legacy. Yeah. So first time on vinyl is compilation of hits from the band's first ever studio albums. As I previously mentioned, it was Eric Burdon Declares War, and the Black Man's Burden gets a welcome refresh with an Army Fatigues inspired color vinyl, which I don't have the Army Fatigues inspired, okay, vinyl treatment, and the addition of newly discovered bonus tracks, which I do have, from the Avenue Records archives by longtime War producer Jerry Goldstein. The inside of the gatefold cover on this album primarily contains liner notes, and they are definitely worthy of a read. You know, like I said, I would be happy to read them later if you guys want to hear it, and if you don't, I won't. Okay, maybe I'll skip a little bit. So the gatefold.
Hey, it's your show, dude.
Okay, so
we're just here along for the ride, brother.
Here's what the liner notes discuss. Okay, the unique blend of rock, funk, soul, Latin, and jazz genres that defined their partnership in the early 70s, how their music addressed social issues and personal themes of the time, in particular, you know, the Vietnam War, that was a biggie. The groundbreaking nature of the band as one of the first multiracial groups, guys. A quote from founding band member Lonnie Jordan stating that Eric gave us his blessing. He knew we could do it on our own, regarding Burdon's departure from the band in 1971. Yeah. So details of the remastering process for newer release is included in the liner notes, and the inclusion of newly discovered bonus tracks already mentioned from the Avenue Records archives. Okay, the original albums from which the compilation were drawn, well, you know, they had unique artwork and including a nude image, and the later's gatefold, the compilations package, especially the more recent 2025 remaster vinyl releases, featured brand new artwork and deluxe packaging that brings together the power and experimentation of the era. So anyway, there was the original artwork was really controversial. Okay, the gatefold photo, the inner gatefold, was considered somewhat risque for its time and consisted of the band's members mostly shirtless in a field with 2 nude women lying in the grass.
What's wrong with that?
Well, yeah, why only 2? Okay, so the back cover also featured a provocative pose with Eric Burdon and a woman. The woman was sitting on a wall with their legs spread far apart, and Burdon was resting the back of his head against her pelvis and gripping her ankles. Okay. So anyway, guys, let me.
So Eric was treating this young lady with respect, and where's the controversy?
I really don't know, but I do want to do this. I do want to show the album, and to do that, I will make myself bigger. Okay, the best of Eric Burdon and War. And what I love about this is so many things. Well, first of all,
hold that up again. See the cover, nice and
yeah.
Oh yeah, okay. So it's a black and white photo, and is that a black? Because it's hard to tell with the shining and everything. I love it.
Yeah. No, it is black. It's a Vietnam helicopter in the picture, and Eric Burdon's sitting down in front. Okay, so
what is that? A freaking UFO behind him?
No, it's a helicopter. A Vietnam.
Oh, no, Vietnam. I meant behind even that. If you look at it, that's weird.
Yeah, maybe. Okay, so here's the shrink wrap, Black Friday, and what it says is the essential Eric Burdon and War. includes 2 never-before-heard bonus tracks and the original unedited version of Spill the Wine, remixed and on vinyl for the very first time. Very first time, guys. So anyway, let's take a look now inside. Inside, okay, you can see on both sides there's liner notes. Okay, hold on one second. Let me make the screen a little bigger by dropping a message off it. Okay, so you can see the liner notes on both ends. Great information there, and just a ton of outstanding pictures.
Oh yeah.
Okay. But what I got to do, I've got to show an album here, and because I love the label. This label, again, it's the same helicopter. Okay, this label. I can turn it around without destroying everything. Look at that helicopter, guys. Vietnam War vintage helicopter, vintage now. Probably no more in service at this point. But I just love that. I love that label. I was really happy when I opened it up and saw such a cool label in there, you know. But there's also the back is cool as well. Okay, the back is cool, and I'm going to read this track list. Okay, and starting with side 1, double album set, we've got Magic Mountain, Spill the Wine, Tobacco Road, Nights in White Satin, and Spirit. Side 2, Love Is All Around, Home Dream, Rare Bareback Ride. That was kind of a cool song. Mother Earth, Beautiful Newborn Child. Okay, then we get to side 3, Paint It Black by the Rolling Stones, Gun, Pretty Colors, Home Cooking, and They Can't Take Away Our Music. No, they can't. Then side 4 is where we get into the 2 new tracks, never released before, I should say. The King, and the next song is Train Thing. And Train Thing's got Eric's buddy, Lee Oscar, who he brought with him into the band. Okay, so it wasn't just Eric, it was Eric and Lee Oscar. And Lee Oscar was an amazing harmonica player. And this second song, Train Thing, is just a mind blower. He jams on that harmonica through all these different A, Mystery Train, B, it's like 3 songs here, B, Solo Rider, and C, Baby Let Me Ride. Baby Let Me Ride. Okay, so he plays incredible harmonica all the way through on that. And of course, the last song, you know, we had Spill the Wine was track 2 on side 1, but here we are on track 5, is it? Let's see, 1, 2. No, it's track 4. The last song, side 2, is Spill the Wine Again, an unedited remix, and they're all remastered. And I tell you what, I would recommend this to people. You know, I would recommend it to anybody. I think it's a great album. I really enjoyed it. So I like I said, I may read the liner notes. I may not. Depends on time and stuff. It's not late at all. I may have to. So anyway, let's get back.
We're here to provide you guys with top, tier entertainment.
Tier entertainment. That's right. That's right. Got my buddy Kevin Hall Surfing, who I promised a wrench to, Kevin. I thought I'd bring that up right now. I went to do that today, and I didn't have your full address, and it was like trying to get it done right before we're walking out of the house. And I promise you, I will not go to sleep tonight till you have a wrench. Okay, so what do you think, guys? Well, I'd go see Eric Burdon again.
Oh, hell yeah.
Without hesitation.
Oh,
I'm telling you, that venue I saw him in, there couldn't have been more than like 20 rows or something like that, kind of fanned out. And man, I tell you, I felt like I was standing at the stage, all starry-eyed singing "House of the Rising Sun" with Eric Burdon. And I was belting it out, man. I thought maybe he'd hire me if he heard me, but such was not the case. He had me thrown out if he heard me, actually.
Yeah, when I saw him, it was at a little auditorium right on the riverfront, and it was probably maybe 4,000 or 5,000 people in total there. It was just a little blues fest day. I think he was a headliner for the Saturday night. Can't remember exactly, but but like
and go ahead.
Go ahead, Michael.
Oh, I was just gonna say. Also, wasn't it Frigid Pink that did House of the Rising Sun, and their rendition is like heavy metal almost. But they're from back in the day.
I just thought of something, Michael. You just helped me think of it. If I cut in the song,
go ahead.
"Don't Let Me Be Misunderstood."
Yeah, I love that song.
Was originally a Nina Simone song, as far as I heard.
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah. So there's a story in one of the videos I was watching, where Eric Burdon says she's one of his top singers and whatever, and he's behind or backstage at one of the concerts or one of the clubs, whatever it happened to be. But he was being introduced to her, and he walked in, and she saw him, and she goes up to him. She goes, "Are you the white MFer that took my song and made millions off it?" And and he was going, "Oh, aren't you the one who stole that song from someone else?" And then she ended up going, "I'll sit down and let's have a drink," and all that.
Well, that song is an excellent example of how he staggers. He goes, "Ah, baby, yeah. It's staggered. His whole vocal approach is very staggered in that. I love it.
Yeah, and there's also a story on how about the credits for House of the Rising Sun was done. And they said, like, the arrangements, they said the whole band arranged the song. They all worked together on it.
Right.
But the management said they could only fit one name on the label itself. So they decided to put, Mike Pierce? I think his name was it. Yeah. So they decided to put the one name, and it was his. But they found out later that he was connected to Mickey Most and everything else, all that other stuff, right?
Jesus.
Because they were touring all over the place, and the Animals, and they were getting squat money. So
yeah, funny how Mickey Most and other people, Peter from Led Zeppelin, their manager, knew.
Oh yeah.
And how they're we're always mixed up with the criminal element in the rock and roll business back in England, anyway. For sure.
They were even
we had a whole group of different demons over here, but what's that, Chris?
Said they were even at some point connected with Don Arden. So, which one's worse, Mickey Most, Don Arden? Pick your poison.
Don Arden is always popping up.
Oh, he'll be popping up a whole lot because as we get away from Ozzy's death, more and more will come out. Both Royce and I declared a moratorium on, probably for the rest of this year anyway, just out of respect for him. There's a story there. We're not going to back away from the story. We're not going to back away from Ozzy. But the thing is, the man went out like a champ. We discussed this. I consider this the greatest rock event, the Back to the Beginning concert. The whole damn thing is the greatest rock event of 2025 in my mind, and most of my viewers agreed.
Maybe in the last 25 years.
By the way, I'm going to be putting out a poll on that, and I'll include all 4 artists, and everybody will be able to vote on that. Which is, out of these 4, is the greatest rock event of 2024? We'll find out. Yeah, I'll do that when we're off here. That'll be a first thing due. Yep.
Okay, good. That'll be fun.
Yep.
Okay, so I think I'm going to read those liner notes out of the
let me add something.
Yeah, absolutely, Dan. Go for it, brother.
There's a connection. Jimi Hendrix's last public performance was on stage with War and Eric Burdon.
Oh, was it?
I read about that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that was because he was unannounced. Eric Burdon and War were performing. Jimi Hendrix shows up on stage They played, what song was it? They played Mother Earth and Tobacco Road.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
Can you imagine if that
I
blossomed into something and Jimmy didn't die? My God!
Yeah, Jimmy passed away 2 days later.
Oh my
God!
But
Jimmy and Eric were supposed to be pretty decent friends. Jimmy and Eric Burdon.
And somewhere they said someone in the audience actually recorded Jimmy's last performance, those two songs. So I don't know if that can be found on YouTube or not, but I'd like to see that.
Oh God, me too.
And to go with what you're mentioning, Royce, is they all knew Jimi Hendrix. I mean, Chaz Chandler, from the bass player from the Animals, he's the one that just, okay, Jimmy, come on, I'm going to make you a star. Let's come back to England.
Yeah, I just did a show on that, probably for the third time. But he showed up, and Chaz Chandler was tired of just being the bass player for the Animals. And he showed up in New York, ran into actually Keith Richards' girlfriend, and told her what he was looking for. He was looking for an artist he could promote or something. And she goes, "Oh, you're going to have to go down to Cafe One and hear Jimi Hendrix playing." And he went down there. He was blown the hell away. And they talked a little bit afterwards. And the next thing you know, they were leaving for England together. And kind of the rest is history. But yeah, that was Chaz Chandler. Yeah. Yeah.
It wasn't a lot of the disagreements between Eric and Chaz.
I don't know about that for sure.
Yeah.
I know Hendrix.
That's why I posed it as a question. I seem to remember that, but nothing specific is coming to mind, but it was involved in some lawsuits, things like that. I don't know. Maybe somebody in the peanut gallery knows.
Yeah, I do know this. All the money Hendrix was making, he was like getting a little allowance. He wasn't getting shit. I mean, Chaz Chandler was taking all the money. And Chaz Chandler had a life insurance policy out on Jimi Hendrix as well. And he wound up on the speculation list of what happened to Hendrix, because Hendrix was going to get rid of him. But anyway, we don't want to go there. We don't want to go there right now, any more than I already have. So, okay, guys. So I am going to do this.
You can.
Well, let me get the real. I got the real story of the albums right here. And then if you want to add to that, fine. But here we go. I'm going to read these liner notes.
Sweet.
Because I think they're worth hearing, and it's all about these two albums, this box set. Okay. So all right. First things first. Be able to see the liner notes. Okay.
Yeah, you're just trying to look smart, Royce.
That's impossible. You know that, Michael. Okay, so during their brief time together, 69 through 71, Eric Burdon and War wrote a wave of musical energy that soared and ultimately crashed. The sheer volatility of this collaboration was part of its power. The joining of a veteran British blues rock singer with a Danish harmonica player, the one he brought with him, and six Afro-American R&B jazz players was an unlikely one from the start. The band was a creative melting pot of different backgrounds and musical influences that found unity in its diversity. Burdon and his bandmates declared war when peace was the popular cry, and then spread a message of love with ecstatic abandon. Eric Burdon Declares War and The Black Man's Burden, both released in 1970, were the only two albums to appear during the group's lifetime. A third and posthumous LP, Love Is All Around, was released in 1976. This collection samples the best tracks from the band's catalog, providing glimpses of a wildly creative partnership that tested its own limits from the very beginning. Taken as a whole, these songs were... Okay, so taken as a whole, these songs are a statement of unity and brotherhood expressed through words and music with the collective identity of all involved. War, singer-keyboardist Lonnie Jordan, speaks of his bandmates when he recalls Burdon with admiration. Eric taught me a lot. We were able to improve with him in ways that I hadn't thought were possible before. Sometimes we'd play for 45 minutes nonstop on stage, improvising all the way through. He really amazed me. Burdon brought a world-class reputation to War's service, as a lead vocalist with the Animals. He racked up such mid-60s hits as House of the Rising Sun, Don't Let Me Be Misunderstood, We Got to Get Out of This Place. His passionate, soul-barring style eventually outgrew the confines of typical pop material. And by 69, Burdon was languishing in Los Angeles looking for fresh inspiration. Excuse me, folks. As luck would have it, producer-songwriter Jerry Goldstein had discovered a promising band called The Night Shift. Okay, so Goldstein discovered a promising band called The Night Shift, who were then backing up Foothill All-Star Deacon Jones in a Vegas-style act at an LA area club. The group's core, Lonnie Jordan, guitarist Howard Scott, drummer Harold Brown, saxophonist Charles Miller, and percussionist Papa D'Allen were playing an incendiary mix of R&B, Latin, jazz that reworked rock tunes like Paint It Black into something utterly unique. Goldstein took Burdon to see the band, bringing along Eric's harmonica-playing friend Lee Oscar, who you heard me mention a couple of times, as well as Oscar's jamming with the Night Shift. Burdon was impressed, and in less than 24 hours, they were rehearsing together. Burdon became the lead singer. The band was renamed War, and the ensemble made its debut before more than 100,000 people at the Newport 69 Festival. Wow, can you imagine? From playing in a little club to playing before 100,000 people practically overnight at the Newport 69 Festival in Devonshire Downs in Northridge, California. On June 21st, it was a high-risk move, but the enthusiastic reaction from the massive crowd told them they had created something unstoppable. After adding B&B Dickerson on bass, the band's momentum swept them into San Francisco's Wally Heyer Studios, where they recorded the basic tracks for what became their debut album, Eric Burdon Declares War. Captures the ensemble as their sound was starting to take shape. When Jordan accidentally knocked a glass of wine into the console, it provided inspiration for what became the album's Billboard #3 hit single, Spill the Wine. Introduced Eric Burdon and War to the airwaves, preparing fans for further musical explorations on Black Man's Burden, an even more radical excursion into improvisational realms. Sold out tours in the U.S. and Europe, including a London Hyde Park concert, which prompted New Musical Express to write the headline, Burdon and War, best live band we've ever seen, and a now legendary September 1970 jam, Dan, with Jimi Hendrix, a legendary 1970 jam with Jimi Hendrix. I just kind of lost my place here, folks. Radical excursion. Okay, here it is. Sorry. September 1970 jam with Jimi Hendrix at Ronnie Scott's Jazz Club in London testified to the band's onstage brilliance. Boy, I'd like to have a recording of that too. By the end of 1971, the Burdon War Alliance had dissolved. So yes, Michael, I could have seen War without Burdon in 71. Okay, late in 71. And both embarked on separate careers. Hours of extraordinary recordings were left unreleased in the vaults. The King is an erotic meditation that smolders before exploding into a raw cry for desire. Wow.
What they're saying here is we're going to get more. Did you, that sentence before that last one? Yeah. Hundreds of tapes in the vaults.
Yeah, a raw cry for desire, matching rockabilly, unleashed in the vaults recordings. Okay, hours of extraordinary recordings were unreleased in the vaults. Hours. Okay, I mean a single hour is an album. So anyway, The King is an erotic meditation that smolders before exploding into A raw cry for desire, matching. I don't know how this is sounding with my album covering the microphone and the microphone twisted backwards.
It sounds fine. It sounds fine.
Okay. So Train Thing features an early example of Oscar harmonica mastery, and I mentioned that already. It's just mind blowing how good that is. I'm ready to listen to it again right now, and it rides the dips and curves of improv with relentless drive. Over the decade, Burdon continued to record both with the Animals and as a solo act. War went on to release many top 10 hit singles and sell over 50 million albums, staying true to their essential sound and style. Meanwhile, the influence of Burdon and War in rock, funk, rap, and beyond became evident as the new generations of garage bands and hip-hop artists covered, sampled, and otherwise absorbed the innovations they'd pioneered. In April 2008, Eric Burdon and War unexpectedly reunited for a live show, I mentioned that a bit ago, at London's Royal Albert Hall, the first time they'd performed together in 37 years. Oh my God. Revisiting their classic collaborations as well as post-Burdon War hits and Animals favorites. The British singer and his compatriots recaptured the excitement of decades past, the concert celebration, what they'd created together all those years ago, and reminded old and new fans alike how relevant their message and music were for the 21st century. A revolutionary alliance formed during a tumultuous time. Eric Burdon and War fought the good fight while they were together. Like the song says, they can't take away the music. It remains the same, vital, and still blazing. Written by Barry Alfonso. So that is just awesome. I read it earlier and I go, you know what? I got to read this because I think it's significant. So anyway, I do have a few more albums to show, but I need to get everybody back up to talk about whatever they want to talk about here, you know?
Well, one thing I was going to say while you were reading all of that, War was one of those bands along with Tower of Power and Chicago that taught me to appreciate a larger contingency within the band. I think the biggest lineup that was kind of okay with me was like 5 members. I mean, if Yes could come out and sound like a freaking orchestra with 5 members, then there was no need for anybody else. Come on. You know, a few bands had a keyboardist and 2 guitarists and a bass and a drummer, you know, and a lead singer, but that was too crowded for me until I started hearing Chicago. But Chicago was like, I love 25 to 6 or 4, but some of the other stuff, pedestrian for me. But a friend of mine that was a bass player had gotten into a Chicago cover band, and I went and watched him practice. This isn't the guy that got into the Allman Brothers band. They were both bass players. And we would go to each other's practices and everything. They were hot, by the way. David Locatell was his name. He passed away and was a big-time bassist in Las Vegas. They even did a big thing and everything. But so that opened up Chicago for me. Because hearing it live, I went, well, this is very rock and roll. But then the summer, I remember these songs being on the thing. Put the lime in the coconut, right? They were still doing I Can't Live by Nilsson as well. Eric Clapton, Layla, and I'm Still a Young Man by Tower of Power. That was a golden summer. I just loved those songs. And so Tower of Power, and then I went to go see them, mind blown. And of course, War, as I was getting to know these bands intimately, War comes along. I had nothing but an open heart for War.
Right.
You know, under any guise, whether with Eric Burdon or not, they were cool. You know?
Oh no, they were. I loved them. I thought they were a great band.
Oh God, amazing band.
Hey Roy, is that link right there that I put out?
Okay.
That's supposedly Jimi Hendrix's last performance.
Oh, good.
No kidding.
Yeah,
Wow, thank you.
I kind of skinned over it here looking at it. It looks like that may be the right clip.
Wow.
And while I'm going to London in 2 days, I'm gonna look for that jazz club, the Ronnie Scott Jazz Club. I'm gonna see if I can find that place and take some photos of it.
Yeah, man, that's going to be so amazing in London, Dan. Wow.
I know.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me see. I'm going to quickly. Where did that go? I was gonna copy that link real quick. But anyway,
Royce goes, stream over, folks. I gotta go watch it. That's how big of a Hendrix fan this guy is.
Yeah, that's
Good Lord.
Okay, I'll copy that later. Thanks, Dan.
Look at all the trouble you caused, Dan. Damn it.
Yeah. Total disruption bringing up Hendrix.
Yeah. Stream? What stream?
Right. Well, okay, folks. You know what? I have other. Well, first of all, I want to thank everybody that's hung with us for so long, and I want to mention this is a really good time to go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. We're always trying to get as many thumbs up during the show as we can, but also, whether you're watching now or watching later, of course, most of the viewers are after the live chat show. Because they go on for days, weeks, and sometimes months. But if you're not already a subscriber, we've got a lot of these rock and roll shows on our channel. We have 2 playlists that deal just exclusively with these rock shows, Rock and Roll Chronicles and Rock and Roll Deep Dives. And check them out. You're going to love them. If you're a rock and roll fan, you are going to like these channels. You're going to like these shows. So please hit that subscribe button. There should be an on-screen subscribe button, making it really easy right now. And when the bells pop up, hit that notification bell. You'll get a one-time notification when a new show's coming on. Because in addition to the every Sunday at 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time live stream that we do, live podcast, we also do some stuff midweek. We've been doing a little bit more lately. We also have a membership, which has a lot of members-only videos in it that we're going to continue adding to. So we got the membership, we got the subscribe, and the like button. Now, let me move forward, and thank you all so much for putting up with me. So first of all, I have an Eric Burdon album here that doesn't have a cover. Okay, and I don't know what happened to the cover. It might have been one of those ones I wound up with from a flooded storage unit. But I mean, this is a good album. It's the best of the Animals. It's got songs like "It's My Life," "Gonna Send You Back to Walker," "Bring It On Home to Me," an old oh God, what's his name? Sam Cooke song. I love that song. I used to play that on the guitar back when I used to practice. "I'm Mad." Okay, then on the other side, we have "We Got to Get Out of This Place." I absolutely love that song.
Yeah.
Boom, boom, boom. "I'm in Love Again." "Roberta," "I'm Crying," and another one that I love, "Don't Let Me Be Misunderstood." Great songs, those two. Really like them a lot. And then I just happen to have, and I don't know where this silly thing came from. It's got this little superstar logo up here for what that's worth. But I will say that it does have Eric Burdon and the Animals. It does have great songs on it again. Good time.
I see Eric Burdon, but I don't see any Animals on there.
Well, no, yeah, I know. They never get top. They never get top billing, right? But it's got Sky Pilot, a song I really like. Have you, Michael? Is Sky Pilot the one you were saying you hadn't listened to yet?
No, Sky Pilot.
Yeah.
Oh God, no! I love that.
Oh, I love that song too. Monterey. Paint It Black, written by Jagger and Richards, of course. River Deep, Mountain High, Phil Spector, Barry, and Greenwich. San Francisco Nights, Burdon and Crew. Help Me Girl, English and Weiss. To Love Somebody, Barry and Rob Gibb, the Bee Gees. How crazy
You know
is
what,
that?
Royce? You mentioned San Francisco Nights. Out of all
Yes.
those freaking, if you're going to San kind of songs,
Yeah.
we built the city, and all that crap. San Francisco Nights. Oh man, all I wanted to do is go to the city on a warm San Francisco night, baby. I
Oh,
love
yeah.
that song.
I love that
I'm
song
not.
too. I mean,
I'm not a big fan of songs about cities, or I mean
No.
cities,
Right.
But that one is an exception. That
no,
is an
oh
awesome
yeah,
song,
that's just straight out of Summer Love. It's so
Yeah.
iconic. Yeah.
and it's so
Anything from
inclusive.
that era. Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
it paints humanity as it should, Royce.
Right. James Watson.
Or
It's like Blondie. No one wants to see the other band members.
yeah.
That's great. Thank you. Okay, so yeah, right on, Michael. Okay, I have to show this one now. It seems like all I have is best of and greatest hits, but I'm not complaining. Probably wind up hearing a lot of the same stuff again. River Deep, Mountain High, San Francisco Nights, Year of the Guru, Anything, Monterey, White House.
Yeah, there's another exception.
I know. Yeah. What from this era, they're all exceptions, right? I mean,
Yeah. Except for if you're going to San Francisco, could stay off the air for the rest of eternity. But songs written in this era, they could get away with it a lot of times.
Right. To Love Somebody, and once again, Sky Pilot. Like I said, all I have is greatest hits and stuff, and this is no exception. But I saved the best for last, and this is Animals Retrospective. This is a 2-album set, and probably the most as beautiful a vinyl as you're going to see. Okay, track list on this one of the two. Now tell me that's not some pretty vinyl, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I love that salmon color. See, I'm a real man. I wouldn't call that pink.
I would call it orange. I don't know how it looks.
Yeah, it looks kind of orange.
It's orange.
It's looking kind of pink on my screen. That's weird.
Well, compare it to the pink animals written right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm colorblind though too.
Anyway.
Remember that.
Well, there you go.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that makes a difference.
Good thing I wasn't around when the band named themselves. Otherwise, they would be called Orange Floyd.
Right. Hey, Rock and Robin Bird is a member. Thank you.
All right. She joined tonight on my channel. Welcome aboard, man.
Yeah.
Now she's really tribal.
Not to mention a warrior,
And
so
the warrior.
Thank you so much, Rock and Robin. I really appreciate that. Love the membership. It's growing. Added, I think, 9 videos a week or 2 ago, and I've got more lining up to add. So fun stuff. Not something you've got to sit there for an hour to watch, but they're more like my short pre-recorded videos that anywhere from a really short one might be 4 minutes, but they can go up to 20 minutes, with the average being plus or minus, say, 10 minutes. But anyway, so let me just read this track list, and I'm sure this being the retrospective, we're going to hear more. Okay, House of the Rising Sun. Anybody heard of that one? I'm Crying.
Sounds familiar.
Baby, Let Me Take You Home. Gonna Send You Back to Walker. Boom Boom. Don't Let Me Be Misunderstood. Side 2, Bring It On Home to Me, Sam Cooke song. Let's see. We Got to Get Out of This Place. It's My Life. Don't Bring Me Down. CC Rider. Inside Looking Out. Okay, so side 3, side 1 of the second album. Hey Jip. Help Me Girl.
Oh, wait a minute. They did a version of Hey Jip?
Looks like it, yeah.
Well, Hey Jip was done by Donovan, and I'm trying to remember. It's also on the latest album of the year, Robert Plant's album, and he does a version of Hey Jip.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know the Animals did it though.
Okay. I didn't know that the other band did it. Okay. So Help Me Girl, When I Was Young. I love that song. A girl named Sandoz, San Francisco Nights, and Monterey Again. Anything, Sky Pilot, White Houses, and Spill the Wine actually made it on this one. So this really covers a big.
Now, hey, Royce, I got a question on that. On the list of the songs, they show who the writing credit goes to.
Some albums do, and some albums don't.
Because I'm curious who they've got for the writing credit for House of the Rising Sun.
Well, that's a traditional.
Well, that's not.
I think that's traditional.
On the back of this one.
Yeah, I know. Hey Jip is traditional too. A lot of people have done Hey Jip.
Writing credits here. Okay, House of the Rising Sun, written by Alan Price, produced by Mickey Most, engineered by a couple of engineers. So anyway, written by Alan Price is all that it says about House of the Rising Sun. Like the next song, I'm Crying, is written by, Eric Burdon and Alan Price. Well, that's interesting because Alan Price wrote House of the Rising Sun. Doesn't that make it sound sort of original when he's also involved in writing the second song?
Yeah, because I do know Eric Burdon was in a lawsuit over that song. I think over the writing credits, and he lost.
Oh, he lost.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, that's interesting.
So I probably went to that other guy that you
Bring It On Home to Me. That was the Sam Cooke song. I really like that song too. I have a Sam.
All right, here's your answer, Royce.
Okay.
The House of the it is a traditional song. House of the Rising Sun. See, Robert Plant has gotten 2 writing credits on his new album, even though all those songs are traditional songs. Nobody owns the copyright to them. Everybody can cover them, but if you do an arrangement, then you can get an arrangement writing credit, but it's not true writing credit. Here's what AI tells me. The House of the Rising Sun has no single credited author because it is a traditional American folk song, evolving over time from older English ballads with its earliest recorded forms from the 1930s by Apple chain musicians like Clarence Ashley, George Turner, and famously popularized by the Animals in 1964. Okay? So that's in a nutshell. There's lots more info on it.
Really interesting. Hey, James Watson made a funny statement here. Like, hey Joe, where are you going with that gun in your hand? Hey Jip, where are you going with that gun in your hand?
I love it.
I thought
good
that was
one,
hilarious.
James. Yeah.
Given the conversation.
Hey, Pecolina, good to see you.
Yeah, great to see Pecolina.
Kevin, always good to see Kevin in. James Watson, saw him earlier, yeah.
Hey, Jip, don't make it bad.
Oh, here we go.
So Dr. Insomnia is saying credit was for the arrangement. Obviously, he could have written it if it was recorded by Leadbelly. He could not have written it if it was recorded by Leadbelly. Okay, interesting. That Dr. Insomnia, boy, he's a encyclopedia of rock knowledge.
Yeah.
Well, I wonder if he did the same thing with Nights in White Satin.
Yeah, no, I know. I wonder about that. Let's see. That would.
And I wonder what Justin Hayward would have to say about that.
Yeah, but like I said, when I heard that, it's totally different than Moody Blues, but it's the same words. So maybe it's an arrangement thing.
Well, I think the arrangement rule only works with traditional. If anybody else knows that, the only reason I know some of this stuff is I've had to copyright my material and send it to the Library of Congress and do all of that down. And it's been a while since I've done that. But there for a good 10 years, I was quite involved in, what made an original song and what kind of monies you could attach to it and everything else. So from what I remember, a traditional song, you can get writing credit on it as an orchestrational or an arrangement type of thing. Because Robert Plant's done it on his new album, and I've seen that it's 2 songs, but I don't know which 2 songs he's getting it. It may be Hey Jip, because the title of that song, it's still not coming to me, but it's the song that goes, gonna buy you Chevrolet, gonna buy you Chevrolet. You know that song?
Oh, yeah,
And
I
so,
know that song,
yeah. I'm gonna buy, I forget how it goes, but man, it's great. It's great. So, but he's added a new title to it. Maybe I'm sure somebody in the gallery knows. Yeah, I couldn't track down which 2 songs, but the very first cut is the one I highly suspect that Robert Plant, and putting it on as a first cut is another clue, because that's the first thing heard on the record. It's the first single or second single out, So I have a feeling it's that. But if anybody knows anything more than me, please correct me. I love to learn new stuff.
Absolutely. Hey, Michael, it looks like Hayward got the writing credits for Nights in White Satin.
Well, he should have. He wrote it.
Well, I guess with traditional songs, what I understand on copyright, if a song is copyrighted, as long as they keep renewing that copyright, it still belongs to the original owner. But once the original owner dies, there's a waiting period, and at the end of that waiting period, that song is released. I guess it's up for grabs at that point.
Really?
The last time I looked into it, it remains with your family for X amount of years. It may have been. Why does 70 years come to my line?
Yeah, it's a long time.
Thought. Yeah. So it passes on to family if there's no other will contesting that or anything else like that. So if I died in one of my songs, all of a sudden a friend of the family, I'd like to do a version, and it became a #1 hit, Kimberly would get the money.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So.
Nickling of the Cat, Michael, great to see you too. Dr. Insomnia.
Always, brother.
That's the oldest recording of Rising Sun I could find. Okay. I have an unrelated question. Okay, Joseph, what's your unrelated question? We'd like to do our best job of answering it, and maybe if we can't, someone in the chat can.
You're right, Val. Public domain laws are very weird.
They're very weird. I was reading something this morning. It was like prior to 1927, they're all released, but then it was like these weird tiers were involved and stuff,
Well, Disney's about ready to lose their copyright on Mickey Mouse, and they're doing everything under the sun to extend it and everything else. And oops,
Yeah,
you can go. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Dan. You can go on a government website where they have public archives.
Yes,
and they're always releasing stuff that's public domain, because of different reasons. So a lot of people keep watching that because something that was released in the 20s may just now become available. So.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. And you know what? The only reason I was trying to look into that today was because I thought if I had a little Christmas show, there's only one more Sunday before Christmas. It would be really nice to have some music playing softly in the background, as long as you're not getting a strike for it,
Yeah.
But anyway, I don't know if that would work out anyway. It might be hard to control the volume of it or something. And I remember one time I played a song that my younger brother Richie, you know him, Dan, and he did with his wife and his son and a couple of other musicians. They had a band in Oregon that was doing well. They were getting written up in Reverb Nation or something like that. I think they were #1 there for a little while, and they did that song "Creep," by a couple of the bands we all know. But what I was going to say, I was looking for Christmas music, and we only have another week. I'm contemplating trying to do something Christmas oriented next week. I don't know if I am or not. I don't think I did last year, but I think I did the year before. I'm just not sure. Let's see. Okay, so Joseph Blue had an unrelated question, And throw it up here, Joseph. Yeah, we'd like to see what we can do with it. James Watson. So anyway, yeah, the copyright thing seemed really kind of crazy to me when I was looking it up. I mean, you know, they have a list. You can go check the songs out, you know, on a list somewhere and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Or you can even buy the right to put it out, and I wouldn't think it'd be that much when you look at all the look at all the YouTubers we know that play songs, if not albums, all the way through their shows.
Yeah.
And you know
Yeah, but they're playing with fire, brother.
Yeah.
No.
They're playing with fire. I don't support it.
Well, I think it's a big mistake. Okay, no, wait.
Well, I believe that the owner of the music, whether it's a corporation or not, right is right. I've talked all about this. We got to get back to, as a society, some things are right, some things are wrong. And the owner of that music, if they own it, deserve to be recompensed. And all of the counter arguments, such as, well, it's channels like mine that give it exposure, don't. If they're coming for it, quit giving me your fucking excuse because you got to pay for it. Yeah, they're playing with fire. That's not a.
No, I agree with you 100%. We've had this conversation.
I'm not against it. I'm not against it at all. I love the idea of it, but you know, life is life, and you know, they're doing quite often, and they also cover, well, we're just talking and the music's in the background kind of thing.
Right.
Okay, but it is kind of playing radio DJ. Guess what? Radio DJs, the stuff they played, that station had to pay for it.
Oh, yeah.
You know, welcome to showbiz. You know? But that's my take on playing. That's why I don't. The music soundtrack that you hear underneath is from YouTube. Okay, it has been okayed by YouTube. My send-off by YouTube. I've got 4 themes on my show, and other than that, I would love to play a record and tear it apart. Now, listen to this part. That would be great. That's what would ring my chimes. But I would love to do that more than anything I'm doing right now. Okay, but I can't.
No, you can't. And that's the only reason I brought that up is because I see that they'll let you play a short, and oftentimes you're required to split or just give the revenue to somebody else. But the short makes, like, you know, 20 cents. A good one makes 20 cents, $1. So how much could it really cost if you ask permission to play a single song from some of these sources? I know there's people that broker that for you and stuff, but I mean, I would never pay somebody $100 to play their freaking song. I don't really care.
Well, go to YouTube Studio, down to their music, and then type in a search, free Christmas music, and then say available Christmas music, and it'll give you more top artists. And like, for example, every once in a while, I've used a soundtrack. I have to pay $10 for that one because it's a pretty big new one. Okay. But and I use it, and if the video doesn't get enough views, I lose it in the teeth. You know, but you pay your way in life. Okay.
Right. Okay. So anyway, guys, let's focus here for 1 minute on Joseph Blue. He had a question, or he's looking for a solution. He wants to hear from us. He says he has an 86 CD release of the 2014 remastered Led Zeppelin 2. Okay. 2086 CD release of the 2000 remastered Led Zeppelin 2. Okay. And both have distortion in the loud segments I hear with my headphones.
Yeah. Everything I had by Led Zeppelin before I started recollecting vinyl was before that, so I don't know what you're talking about, Joseph. I'm just answering for me, and so I've never heard it. What about you guys?
Well,
have you all ever noticed?
The only thing I can say is I don't have a pair of good headphones, and to listen to them out of my main stereo in the living room, I have to lay on the living room floor. So I never listen to music with headphones, so I wouldn't have any idea.
Yeah, I do exclusively almost. You know, I love listening to music in headphones. But Nick, right now he's out there somewhere going, headphones, Nolan.
I have before, and it's a whole nother world. It sounds beautiful.
Yeah, I like the three-dimensional feel, the enclosing me away from the rest of the world, and the lights down low, me in a lotus position on the floor on my soft-ass pillow, and palms up, and baby, take me for a ride. I'm all for that, man. That's me.
Right.
Incense.
Okay.
So and a little bit of peppermint.
Does anybody have any idea how to respond to why they both sound distorted in the loud segment?
So I think they're supposed to.
You do?
Yeah.
Well,
because I've noticed it too, and I've noticed it forever. I've never saw it as anything out of line. I always part of that. What is it? The Therapin session. I assume that's what he's talking about. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about you, Dan? You probably got a great set of headphones.
Well, not these, but I do have a good pair.
Right.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Dan. Go ahead.
Yeah, when I put on, ever since I was a kid, when I turn on my headphones, everything's loud. So it doesn't matter. Everything's loud.
Right.
You know what I'll do, Joseph? I'll check to see if Apple's got the 2014, or if I can find it online. I'll listen to it through some headphones and ask me in the future. Bring it back up. I don't want to promise I'll answer it because I've got so much on the table right now. But now you've kind of piqued my curiosity. What are these guys talking about, man?
Mine too, Joseph. I really appreciate you bringing this up. Yeah. Okay. So Michael's gonna see if he can get it from what'd you say, Apple, Michael?
Yeah, Apple. Okay. Often they'll have especially if this mix is the latest mix that's available. They'll often have versions of those. I'll even go back to check and see if I bought it. I early on I bought digital music from Apple, and I still own that, so it's still in my library. I'll check it out, see what I can come up with.
That's totally cool. He's also asking kind of the second part of that. Is that distortion he's hearing on the high end, is that in the original tapes?
Not that I recall, but I haven't been listening for that specific thing. And I'll say this, another thing, one of the things that kind of made it easier for me to give up CDs was there was a lot of packing those CDs, the loudness war. We got a lot of CDs that were overdone, but I would think by 2014, that had more than enough ample time to settle down. So I don't recall if maybe, is it based on the digital master that maybe the original digital masters were based on, and or did they jack the sound with the 2014? Those are all possibilities anyway.
Well, Michael, there's another question for you here. James Watson's wanting to know if the music in your intro video was created by you or is it public domain?
No, it's public domain.
Okay.
Yeah, it's free. It's free.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
No, I have had a couple of pieces that I've been thinking of inculcating into it, but the editing process of it and everything seems to be blocking me from doing that. And then I start thinking, well, maybe I should, just get on the keyboard and compose something. And I go, when am I going to find the time to do that? But if all of a sudden there were 92 channels using the same music as and I was no longer unique in my market, I could take that away from them because I do have the capabilities of putting together, a soundtrack of my own, if I just only had the time.
So it looks like we're kind of at the end here. Be signing off here shortly. One more time, I'll ask if there's anybody out there that watches the show in the future that hasn't already hit the thumbs up button, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. Helps the channel get distributed to a wider audience. And if you're not already a subscriber, be you out there watching, maybe not in the chat, but watching anyway. A lot more people are watching than are in the chat. Not everybody comes into a chat. If you're out there, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and join us. Join us for our weekly shows and our midweek shows. We would appreciate it. Subscribe, hit the notification bell for a one-time notification, and the like button, like you see on TV. Like, subscribe, hit the bell. Likes. Some of the buttons are say like, subscribe, and then they show the bell getting hit. Anyway, pretty cool. All right. Well, I tell you what, folks, I want to thank you all in the chat. Just absolutely love the chat. All the people in it. I just really mean a lot to me that you guys take the time to come watch the show and spend your time with us. But I also want to thank my excellent panel here. Michael Nolan, the bottom line, Just the Facts Man Dan, and the amazing Chris Elliott. Thank you guys all so much. And we're going to sign off now. And that's what's happening in Royce's World today, folks. Thank you all so much for joining. Good night.
Good night, folks.
Good night, everybody.